I want to immerse myself in that level of academic study in order to be able to almost pass that knowledge on, or have it, even just have it in the background when I'm teaching. It was partly a burning desire just to do a doctorate because I miss academia, but mostly because I want to make a career out of lecturing.
Most writers, of course, do not make their whole income from their writing directly. They need some sort of second job or day job. And teaching creative writing, of course, is an exceptionally good one because it's thoroughly integrated with your creative life. It means that all the time you're getting the stimulus of working with other writers, answering questions, seeing other people's work develop, exploring different kinds of techniques.
This is perfect for me. I have a project that I really want to do, but I'm a little scared to do it. I need support. I need kind of personal support just to get through it. I need resources. And these are things that I can't get just working on it on my own on weekends and things. So I applied for it and then I got in. And I ended up with these amazing supervisors who did offer me the support that I needed to get this particular project. So the PhD was really about this project.
I hope to create a piece of work which is a large, a substantial interactive fiction, and also develop ideas and a way of working, a methodology that will enable me to carry on producing interactive narratives, I should say, because interactive fiction is a very specific kind of, very specific genre. And also, I'm hoping to kind of discover things through my research, which will also enable and help other people create interactive narratives too, or story games, or playable, using story really in a playable or an interactive medium. You can take time out of your sort of normal life to undertake a PhD. So I think it was a lot to do with that as well, giving me the focus as well as the research framework.
I think a PhD in creative writing, or indeed a PhD in digital creative writing, can't but fail to enhance what you're trying to do, particularly if you're interested in having a research community around you during your writing process. And to be able to sort of formalize that research process within the context of a PhD, I think is a very valuable thing. It only suits people, novelists, writers, who want the PhD as well as the finished project. But I think that it's both a supportive and also hopefully a really challenging environment to work on a long project on.
I would love to teach at some point, and it's almost necessary now to have a PhD to teach at a college or university level, no matter what country I end up in at whatever junction of my life.
I was just at the beginning of thinking about my second novel, and so I really felt like I needed to clear space to do that second novel because it's hard. The first novel's hard, the second novel's harder, or that's what I was finding. And so I started to think about ways that I could perhaps get some funding to do a longer course of study, because I'd done a creative writing MA. And also I really became interested in the idea of teaching creative writing at university, and it became clear that a PhD was really essential if you wanted to do that. The end game, I kind of thought, well, I need to have a portfolio career, really.
I think the interesting thing about a PhD is that it provides a structure to what is otherwise something that's quite unstructured. Writing a novel, there's no rules about how long it should take to write a novel, what methods to use. Writers tend to find out by trial and error what works, and what are the best ways for them to work in terms of those things we've just been talking about, like research, and how much to write and so on. And all those things, as I say, are quite personal things that are acquired by a process of trial and error. But what the PhD does is provide a sort of context for that to happen in, and a framework where you can develop your own ways of writing at the same time as having the support and the structure around it, so that you're not just sort of, you know, groping in the dark for some sort of process. There's actually something there in the terms of your tutors and other students, and the interaction between those that can help you overcome those problems.
The academic side of it is equally as important, if not more so. This is not about writing a novel. I do that. I write 6 books a year anyway. I don't need to do a PhD just to write another book. This is about connecting it to theory. So it's about having that theory in my ammunition.
You're being taught to think in an academic way. Now, this is important, of course, if you want to go on and have an academic career afterwards in creative writing in universities. And I suppose that's the usual reason why people do a PhD.
When a job came up here teaching at the university, it was just a lovely kind of serendipity, I suppose. So now I get to teach the things that I'm really passionate about and to have time to write. So it's a good kind of mix.
My perception of my work has definitely changed. I've had the luxury, I've had the kind of time to just really sink in to kind of the intellectual aspects of my work. You know, and I think that happens, you know, the more you delve into your craft, the longer you've been writing. But I just, you know, had the time to navel gaze and really see what I'm writing about, what this means. Sometimes that gets lost in between plot points and characters. What am I actually writing about? What drives me to write? And so it's been very illuminating.
I think the idea of contextualising creative work with a thesis is important. I think there is a lot that can be said in creative writing PhDs, because I do believe creative writing can be taught. I believe there are principles of writing that can lead to a fine novel.
The PhD increases your chances of publication, because through the course you will meet agents and publishers and learn how to deal with the outside world, and to, even if you don't publish a novel, even to get a job in publishing.